Well, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and I think I want to start a new entrepreneurial type series called Tips from the Future, or something of that sort. So, quite commonly, one of the things that I get asked is, how do I come up with that next idea, or my first idea? How is it that, as an entrepreneur, I can decide what it is I am going to do? Well, you know, that's not such an easy answer to give. I, of course, can't decide for you what is right for you and, what will work for you. Because what will work for one person may not work for you, vice versa. But I often, as an entrepreneur, my mind is always running, always thinking, and a lot of times I see business opportunities that I have no ability to take advantage of, or I just don't have the resources right now to take advantage of, and so I decide, okay, let somebody else take that on. Here's one of them. So we have a convergence of technology that's about to happen, and I think it's about to explode really big next year being 2016. And by the way, I guess you'll be able to watch these a few years later and see whether or not I was right. That'll be kind of fun too. And so the technology is drones and cell phones, and how they are going to converge together into something really, really serious and really, really profitable. So imagine this, that these drones that you see flying around all over the place, that are operated with these really expensive handsets, and that you want to do a flyover of the lake here or something like that, and you got to have a skilled pilot to do that. Well, what if the drone could become autonomous, and you give it some directions and then it goes and does its own thing? So I think we're about to see that. I think we're about to see the fact where if I wanted to get a good view, highway back there, logging trucks or something, well, not logging trucks, I live in Florida, something else. So say you wanted to get a close-up view of the whole lake, you wanted to do a nice flyover, and you wanted to fly over it maybe just a foot or two, something a little more spectacular. Well, you could. Because you could program your drone to do that. And what kind of stuff would you use to do that? Well, you would use your cell phone. And that may seem kind of silly to use a cell phone out over water, but we all have old smartphones these days. We've all upgraded. I have 3 old Android phones sitting around here right now. One of them is really nice. And so our phones have gyroscopes in them. Many of them have altimeters in them. They have cameras in them, front and rear, and a lot of other things within them that, like to record, do all kinds of things. Maybe even be connected still, and you can give it the signal to return home. So I can record all these things and do things for you. Like, it could even be holding my camera right now, and I could be talking instead of to my little camera I've got in my hand to cell phone, just recording it on there. I have a couple cell phones that'll record at 1080p, even though this is higher than 1080p. So now the opportunities here are, of course, in the engineering of drones, which is a pretty hefty market that's happening right now. But what's not happening yet, which is about to explode, is the development of software for phones so that you can record, or so that you can do all of these operations. There's many different things you could do with this out here. I could be speaking to a camera, that's floating 50 feet away from me or something like that for this video. I could, go and map the whole lake here. I could even, we could even program the drone to do other things like go across the street to the orchard, the orange orchard that I have across the street, and to see how, how the oranges are looking, whether or not the crop is ripe. Believe it or not, that can all be seen through optics. And I think that there's opportunity for adding a lot of new functionality that we've never thought of with cell phones. What about adding lasers to cell phones? I kid you not. So, it can use a guidance system that's based on GPS, that's also based upon the optics of cell phone. But for that really high precision, why not get cell phone companies to add a couple of lasers to it for measurement and everything? We already have this with higher end cameras, that instead of using a focus that's based on light, you'll use a focus that's based on lasers. And so I could definitely see this being added to a cell phone. And with drones not having a long lifespan, or on each charge how far they can go, I don't think you have to worry about running out of cell phone battery. And so you could make applications that are really battery heavy, and maybe even really tax the CPU and warm it up. But given that it is short duration, and maybe given that there's all the airflow going over the cell phone, that it'll be okay. So I think that's my tip, that this is an area that if you know about drones, you know about cell phones, you know about programming applications on cell phones, that there's an opportunity here for you, just waiting for you to take advantage of. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.